Hello, I'm John Bachman. President Obama is asking Iran to release a group of U.S. citizens detained in that country. The president is reaching out to Iranians today as they celebrate their new year. Mr. Obama released this statement and says, as families around the world gather to mark this holiday, we remember those American families enduring from painful separations from their loved ones. Here are the detainees he's talking about. Saeed Abedini is an Iranian American from Idaho. He was serving as a Christian pastor in Iran before he was detained. Amir Hekmati, a former U.S. Marine from Michigan, is accused of spying for the CIA. And Jason Breslanian is a Washington Post reporter. In addition to those detainees, President Obama is also asking for help in finding Robert Levinson, an American who disappeared in Iran years ago. The terror group ISIS is now claiming responsibility for today's suicide bombings in Yemen. Nearly 150 people have been killed, according to reports, and hundreds more have been injured after bombings that took place at two mosques. Both of those mosques are home to supporters of the Shia group, the Houthis, which have seized control of the government and most of Yemen. And these are images from the latest ISIS video released today. Purportedly, the footage shows the beheadings of 3 Peshmerga fighters in northern Iraq. Investigators are working to verify the authenticity of the video. And the federal investigation continues today into the death of a black man in Mississippi found hanging from a tree. The NAACP has called for a swift investigation here. The local sheriff, Marvin Lewis, says the man they found, named Otis Bird, spent time in prison in connection with a murder 35 years ago. But he says the state crime lab still has to finish its investigation before they can officially identify the victim here, and it's too soon to jump to conclusions.
John, go.
Well, Bird was last seen when a friend dropped him off at a casino. One person has now died after a car with 3 off-duty police officers inside crashes into a semi-truck on a New York highway. Take a look at this. Officials say 3 of the passengers were New Jersey police officers. Investigators believe they were driving the wrong way when the head-on collision occurred early this morning. And Donald Trump on the campaign trail, unofficially, we have to say at this point, after forming a presidential exploratory committee, Trump spoke at a reception in New Hampshire. All right, so we don't have that video. Trump said that the country is a disaster, and he feels like he's the man to get it back on track, but he's still considering things. He calls politicians in D.C. amateurs who don't know how to make a deal. Also today, an anti-porn group is bashing former Vice President Dick Cheney for an interview that Cheney did with Playboy. The D.C.-based nonprofit tweeted, "Note to Dick Cheney, men do not buy Playboy for the articles." Well, not a lot of folks buy it for anything anymore. The former vice president sat down with the men's magazine and talked about the profound dislike of President Obama. But the Washington Post also points out that several notable people have done interviews in the past, including former President Jimmy Carter, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., and Bill Gates as well. We'll have another Newsmax Now update coming up for you in about 30 minutes. We'll try to get that sound from Donald Trump and elsewhere.